Hey everyone, Jeff here. It's been a little while since I've had a chance to connect with everyone on YouTube. Hope everyone's doing well. And today I'm going to try and shoot a little bit of a longer video. My reasoning behind usually keeping my videos compact is those are the videos I usually like to watch. But lately I've been drawn to some longer videos, particularly Derek, you've been making some long videos lately and I've loved those long videos. So I'm gonna try and just show some records, talk about what I'm listening to, and however long it takes is however long it takes. So first thing I want to show here is Colors by Eberhard Weber, Silent Feet. This is on ECM and it's what you're hearing in the background. It's my first time hearing this and this just sounds killer. Anything on ECM tends to be good and very, very cool to get this. I'm really digging this so far and it's just started. Yeah, so you guys are going to experience that with me. Also picked up another Eberhard Weber album. This is The Following Morning. Also on ECM. So haven't listened to this one yet, but very cool to get it. Also picked up some records by Luc Ponty lately. Luc Ponty is a French jazz violin player, and most folks probably know him for the work he did with Frank Zappa. That's how I know him, and that's how I began discovering his music, but he has had such a tremendous solo career, and I want to talk a little bit about my Luc Ponty collection on in this video as well. So this is one I picked up recently, the Luc Ponty Experience with the George Duke Trio. This is actually a pretty cool little document here. It's on the wonderful World Pacific Jazz label. Picked this up for only a couple bucks recently, and it plays fine. Pretty good recording considering it's a 1969 live release. But anyway, what makes this interesting is, to my understanding, Frank Zappa came up and jammed with these guys. Jammed with Luc Ponty and George Duke. And as you would know, all these guys would end up eventually being in the second incarnation of Mothers of Invention. So really, this record confuses me because it opens a different way than it actually is. But yeah, so very, very cool little document, and it's a really cool live album too. So very happy to pick that up. Also picked up Cantaloupe Island. This is a double album, and I think the first LP here is the King Kong album that Luc Ponty made, and I don't recall what the second LP is. But anyway, they're both kind of reissues, and this is on Blue Note. It doesn't have the classiest Blue Note design, but still, like I've said, anything on Blue Note is something that I want to get. And I haven't had a chance to spin Cantaloupe Island yet, but I hope to do that soon. Just, way too many records, not enough time. It's kind of where I'm at right now. So I also decided to pull my Luc Ponty collection just to talk about it a little bit in this video. Some of these records you might have seen before, although I don't think I've showed very many. And my collection isn't huge, but I just want to talk about a few of the records real quick. So first, Imaginary Voyage. Goes without saying, this is fantastic. You can probably find this one in a dollar bin if you're in a good enough record store, and if you see it, pick it up. This is just killer. Another one I have here is Upon the Wings of Music. Again, you might be able to find this in a dollar bin. I did, but then again, I get lucky with those sort of things sometimes. There's just good dollar bins in some of my regular stores. But anyway, another good one, definitely. Enigmatic Ocean. This is probably his finest. If you're into fusion, this is something you've probably already heard, but if you haven't, masterpiece right here. Now, yeah, this one here is interesting. This is on the awesome Inner City label. Jean-Luc Ponty with Stefano Grappelli. And not sure exactly how much older Grappelli is than Ponty, but Grappelli was definitely one of Ponty's influences. And to hear the two of them just, kind of jamming with each other, and even though they're radically different players, just hearing them kind of come together like they do on this album. Very, very cool. And you can just hear the appreciation that both of these guys have for music and playing with each other on this album. So very, very good album. A couple more here that I have. A Taste for Passion. This is another really good one. I don't remember as much about this album. I don't think I ever listened to it as much as some of the other ones. But I'll leave it sitting out. I'll give it a spin. Now these next two here I really dig. Now this might be a little bit surprising, but I think a lot of fusion, at least from my experience, tended to a lot of fusion groups tended to get a little bit weaker as the late 70s, early 80s approached. But I think Jean-Luc Ponty put out some of his best albums around then. And this one from 1980, I believe. I think this is 1980. Definitely one of them. Mystical Adventures. What a fantastic album. One thing I found really kind of cool about this is Randy Jackson there on bass. One of the judges on American Idol. You would never think that he's such a fantastic musician, but he can play like hell, and you can hear it on this album. Just such amazing musicians, and the stuff that they're playing is killer. So this might actually be the first Jean-Luc Ponty album I recommend, to be honest. Really great stuff here. Another one I have sitting out, Cosmic Messenger. Wonderful music. Again, if you look hard enough in dollar bins, you might find it. I got this at the Princeton Record Exchange, I think. I can tell because their stickers are a pain, and I usually end up damaging the covers a little bit, but anyway. Very cool. Those are all the Jean-Luc Ponty albums I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully you enjoyed that little segment there, but really, really love Jean-Luc Ponty. And if there's one person that checks out his music because of this video, then I've definitely done my job. I'll keep the jazz vibe going a little bit here. These are some jazz records I have sitting out that I've listened to and bought recently. Landscape by Art Pepper. Got this from, there was an old guy selling records at the flea market for like $1 each. Most of it was stuff I wasn't interested in, but I figured I'd give this a shot. Art Pepper is a saxophone player, definitely a talented guy, and this is a live recording, and although it isn't anything that you haven't really heard before, he does a good job. Definitely does a good job, and there's some interesting things going on here. Nothing groundbreaking, nothing that you gotta run out and get, but still definitely cool to listen to. Another one here I have sitting out. Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. Drum suite. Actually, the first side is a percussion ensemble. The second side is Jazz Messengers. The first side is just this percussive, tribal, African, I don't even know the word to use it, but it's really, really cool. And the second side is more traditional jazz sounding for the time period in the 50s, but it's still focused from a drummer's point of view, so it's very rhythmically interesting, and really, really like this album, and I got it for free. I guess I'll tell this story. So my grandmother happened to be in the store where I frequently trade records, and she got to talking to the owner of the store, and they ended up making a connection that, I'm her grandson, and that, I'm the guy that trades records all the time with her. And the owner of the store was like, here, give this to Jeff as a gift. You know, you were in here, you know, I think my grandma bought something while she was there. So the owner gave this to her for free to give to me as a gift. So really, really cool. And I'm due to go for another trade. I've got some records that I need to get rid of. But anyway, really cool to get this, especially for free. And here, I'll show the label real quick. The Columbia 6i. This has got to be one of my favorite label designs. Especially, I love this inner sleeve. How to take care of your records, all the different needles, that sort of stuff. Love that label. Don't have nearly enough of them, but I love the label. Eberhard Weber is sounding very, very good. Probably leave this out, give it a couple more spins from the sound of it. This is the sort of stuff I really dig. Now, let me see if I have any other jazz records sitting out. Doesn't look like I do. So, lots of prog to talk about today. First one here, I'll talk about Phaedra by Tangerine Dream. Everyone knows this album if you're into just 70s space music, German electronic, absolute classic. I've had this digitally for years, but I really wanted a vinyl copy, especially with that really cool gatefold. And this is on the Virgin label, so always on the lookout for those. Very cool to get that. I know this might sound like a bad thing, but when I first heard this album years ago, it really didn't click with me, and what I used to do was, if I was feeling under the weather or if I wanted to go to sleep, I would put this on because just those spacey soundscapes kind of had a way with making me tired. And that sounds like a bad thing, but really just listening to it in those sort of situations all the time made this music connect with me, and finally having it on vinyl is very cool. So happy to add that to the collection. A couple other records I bought recently. Private Parts and Pieces 1 by Anthony Phillips. First of all, that cover, very pastoral, just like the music, very cool. And Private Parts and Pieces 2, Back to the Pavilion, also by Anthony Phillips, and also with a very cool pastoral cover. Anthony Phillips, for those of you who don't know, is the original guitarist for Genesis. Love the stuff that he added to Genesis sound early on, and his solo material is just fantastic. These are both really, really cool records, and I think he's kind of an unsung hero when it comes to progressive music, because people don't talk about him too much, but he put out some really good stuff, and these records are really great. So if you ever see these within your price range or something, and you like pastoral, folky sounding progressive music, that's something to get. Okay, I have a couple neo-prog albums here that I bought recently. Script for a Jester's Tear by Marillion. Long been a favorite of mine, but I just didn't own a copy. So very cool to get that. Also Fugazi. Again, had this on CD forever, but finally have it on vinyl. Very cool to get. Now, another one I have here is Breathless by Camel. Camel has put out much better records, and I've talked about some of those records on this channel. This is very sleek, very polished, and it has a pop edge to it, but the writing is still good and the playing is still good. So if you're into Camel, this is something to get, but it's not something that I'd recommend if you're just starting to understand their music. But still, I only paid a couple bucks for this, so very happy to add to the collection. I have a couple Pendragon EPs here. They're another neo-progressive rock band, started out in the 80s. Fly High, Fall Far. This is an EP release. Very cool to get that. And the cover is very cool. I really love this band, and yeah, even though this is it's not the first thing I'd recommend by Pendragon, it is very good sounding. So cool to get that. Also picked up Red Shoes, which this is another EP released by Pendragon, and this is a UK press on Awareness. So I'll show that real quick. Very cool. Now I'm gonna just flip the record real quick, so bear with me for a second. Okay, so a couple more records to show before I call it a night. Cook by Premiata Forneria Marconi, PFM, one of the elite Italian progressive rock bands, and such a good album. This is a live recording, and it really is on fire for the most part. Even much more so than their studio recordings, which I tend to prefer, but still, really awesome album, and if you like PFM, you definitely need to check this out. One more I have to show that I've picked up recently is Caravan and the New Symphonia. Another live album, and this is recorded with an orchestra, as you might guess from the title. Very nice to get this. I absolutely love Caravan. I love all of those Canterbury bands, and this is on the London label. So very happy to have this, and I might actually pull a couple Caravan albums since I'm talking about them right now. I only have a little bit of Caravan on vinyl, but still I'll show those real quick. Now I must confess, I never listened to this one a whole lot. I don't even really remember it that well, so I need to listen to it again. Kind of been neglected. The Blind Dog at St. Dunstan's. So I might leave this sitting out, give it another spin. The other one I have from Caravan on vinyl is For Girls Who Grow Plump in the Night. This is wonderful. This is just spectacular music. It's got that just light, jazzy, psychedelic approach to prog, and really it's what made Caravan unique, because they were so much more whimsical, humorous, less serious than the other prog bands, and I think that's it really made them special, and this is a special album. So unfortunately, that's all the Caravan I have to show on vinyl. Definitely would like to get more, and I'm on the lookout for more, but it tends to be expensive, and I tend to be a little bit more of a bargain guy when it comes to record shopping. Wow, already at almost 19 minutes. So hopefully you enjoyed this longer video. If you did, I might, if I get positive feedback, I might try doing longer videos again in the future. And, if you guys prefer my 10-minute videos, tell me that. And, all feedback is appreciated. So, thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks to everyone that has subscribed. I'm getting a lot more subscribers than I ever thought I'd get. So, hopefully you're enjoying my channel, and I'll see you all next time.